Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live hosted by me, Mr. Philly. And I told you guys, I said I wasn't gonna do another live, but I can't sleep. So I'm wide awake now. Well, not wide awake, but I'm awake. I'm more awake than I want to be. I mean, it's almost Friday, TGIF, and here I am. Lonely and not lonely. Well, I mean, and I watched another content creator talk about this actually, and was like, I don't have time to be lonely because I'm a content creator. And, I mean, yeah, people get lonely, especially when they get older and they're still single. Okay, that's a whole different ballgame. And that's a whole different story to, whole different life to talk about. But like, my thing is that, like, if you keep yourself busy, it actually helps. And that's one of the reasons why I love being a YouTuber and I am a YouTuber. It does keep me very, very busy. But I just couldn't sleep and, here I am chilling with you guys. So yeah. Oh yeah, no, and no, I was just having a conversation and everything. I was just talking, for the sake of talking, I was quoting another YouTuber and everything. And but like yeah, I mean, the older you get, and when you're still single, as psychologically, the older you get, psychologically, being single at the time, it gets lonely. It does, but I mean, I do my best to keep myself busy, and that's what we should do, and that's what we should all do, actually, to say to ourselves, "Oh, I don't have time to get busy." You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I don't have the time to get lonely. I don't have time to get depressed, and that's what really, really helps. And being a YouTuber and a content creator really helps. Anyway, who's this weirdo? Anyway, so I'm 37. I'm going to be 37 at the end of July. I don't normally tell people, but I've known you guys for a while, so the end of July, beginning of August, I will be 37 years old. Yes, I'm old. Hello, Jovan Saka. How are you? So, I know this is I don't know what you're saying. I didn't call you a weirdo. I'm talking about somebody else. If I said weirdo, I was talking about somebody who, their comments were blocked actually, uh, right now. So I was just trying to figure out what this person was saying. That would be, their comments were blocked. So, but yeah, they can't even come through. I have, moderation really, really well. So like, if people make comments, their words are blocked or the way they talk or sounds inappropriate, their messages really don't even go through. So which is really nice. And I like that feature and that's what I do. Keeps the trolls away. But anyway, so yeah. Anyway, I was all right, we're going off topic. So I thought this was a really the reason why I asked this question is because there's a show that I really, really like so, so much that I think should have been revisited. It should have been revisited a while back. Well, it should be revisited well in the last few years. But I know it's interesting. The actor that played this show was a little different, but anyway. I am having a great night, I am alive, walking and talking and blinging and breathing, every day's Christmas. So if I would say a show that shouldn't necessarily be rebooted, but should be revisited and then redone, should do a spin-off, kind of like, I guess I should say it should be a spin-off, you know. Well, I'm not that big of a content creator to actually give you guys my name. When I start becoming a big content creator and start selling sauces associated with my name or start selling food products, then you guys are gonna know my name. And there's another live when I did say my name. So yeah, well, that's not my real name. I'll be honest. I mean, and there's another story associated with that, but. There is a live when I did mention my real name, so you're just gonna have to go find it. Shame, shame. Nobody knows your name. Anyway, so my favorite show that I think should have been revisited is Gotham. I don't know if anybody ever seen that show. It came on Fox. I just watched it a few years ago and I binge watched it, and I absolutely loved it. Actually, honestly, I think it's almost better than the Batman movies. Well, almost as good or better, but. The reason why I should be revisited is because David Boreanaz, he was a kid when he started the show, was basically Gordon. Uh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I feel that way all the time, Brandon. Yeah, totally understandable. So anyway, moving on, like I liked Gotham just because, I think it had a really good premise, and I loved Catwoman. She did a really good job. I really liked how Catwoman and Batman in the movie, they became really good friends at the beginning of their age, even though the comics doesn't mention that. But I think that was really cool, and I loved how they did Penguin, and I really loved. Really? They called you Oswald? They called you Penguin? And, that's another thing, I really loved the origin story they did on Penguin in the Gotham series, but I think he should have been more chubbier, it sounds really mean and body shaming, but, like, I mean, he did the walk really well, I think he was really a best version of Penguin, and, the long limbs, the lanky, but, you just need the stubby and the walk. He did really well. I think his character was beautifully written in, and they did focus on his character really, really well in that show. So basically, Gotham, the long and the short of it, they did really, really well with the origins of the bad guys in that. And then Penguin and Riddler was beautiful too. He could have done a little bit better, but he was really good too. Penguin and Riddler, oh yeah, really good in that show. And let's see who else. Interesting. The way they wrote how the Dark Knight did. So the Dark Knight movie franchise did have an influence on that show. But the reason why I liked it, the reason why I want to see more of it is because David Bourne is. I did like at the end, and spoilers ahead, guys. At the end of the series, they actually showed Batman and his Batman suit. I really liked his Batman suit. I would really love to see how David Boreanaz would evolve into his character. Actually, it was really cool to see him evolve into his character because he even didn't meet Lucius Fox, and he met what's his name, Ra's al Ghul in the show. So it was a cool show. I'm not gonna lie. They really need to do a continuation, a Batman show. That's what I say. And Danny DeVito, head hands down, no question about that. No, I agree 100%. Yes, best Penguin. Don't ever. Fiskov. So what do you mean by that? Well, you have to let fist fight. So is that what you're saying? No, Danny DeVito was good. I mean, it was interesting to see, the character evolve. They made a show about him too, and then in the new Batman movie, he was more of a gangster though. He was more because I mean, he actually said in an interview, "I watched The Godfather to prepare for my role." They made him more like a gangster. They evolved him too much. I mean, it was a different take on the Batman. I mean, I liked it, but I didn't like it at the same time. But no, Danny DeVito, yeah, yeah, for sure, hands down. Yo, he was the comic book character put on screen for sure. I mean, I really wish they would have made another one with him, but after Tim Burton left, I mean, everything went to shit. Batman Forever was good, but Batman, and Robin, oh my gosh, worst movie made in history. Oh, you would like Gotham, I think. Really? I would have not have pegged you as that type of guy, honestly. But then again, I've never seen you in person on. So, I mean, like, I see, you have facial hair, you look like a typical middle-aged man or late middle-aged man. So to me, so I don't know. I would have never pegged you, but I mean, from what I see, you look like the long, lanky type of body style, like me. So I don't know. No, I mean, like, there was a topic that I really wanted to talk about and have a question about. So, and I was just talking about a show that I think should have been revised. So, yeah, and one of the shows was Gotham, but you said you never watched it. But, I am a Batman fan, but, there was a show called Gotham. And I think it did a really good job. Some people may not like it, but like I liked it, and I think it should be revisited. That's what I'm trying. That's the question that we're going on. So anyway, well, I'm glad I appreciate that, Brandon, and thank you so much for joining me. So, and I appreciate your comments. I totally agree, though. Danny DeVito did a phenomenal job as Penguin back in the day. It was a lot different, than what we've seen. Batman has really, really evolved into a lot different, a lot of differentiation today. So, but anyway, really. Oh, wow. Oh, so you're talking about when you were young, right? Oh, wow. So you used to have long frizzy hair like that? Wow. No, I grew my hair out long too for a long time. You probably seen it in one of my lives, but then I could barely put it in a ponytail, but I actually ended up cutting it because my work, where I work actually now you have to have hair nets and everything, and it's a sweatshop where I work. It's a factory, so I just decided to cut it because it's the summer, and having long hair is really difficult to maintain, especially when you work in a factory and you have to have hair nets and everything. And that's why I only have a mustache now. If I have too much facial hair, I have to wear a beard net. So yeah, this is all I can get away with. And I work in a hot factory, so yeah. Protocol is not allowing us to have facial hair anymore. So yeah. So that's where I'm at. So yeah, but yeah, I would have never paid you to have long hair like that, but Hey Natasha, how are you? Skippy Johnson, how are you? And Claudia, how are you? But anyway, no, Gotham. I think that should be. I used to be a part of. I used to be a part of a Facebook group, that talked about Batman. It was Batman dedicated, and I actually posted a picture of David Bourne as the guy that played in Gotham, who played the young Bruce Wayne, and I posted a picture of him of the Batman that he became, and I said, "Who thinks this man deserves his standalone show?" And 80% of people agree with me. So yeah, I mean that was I mean, I think and the ratings and my comments and everything and what I learned in the research that I've done does speak for itself. I think it should be revisited and revised, another god basically. Really? Oh, wow. Well, I try, I do let myself go. Wow, when I first met you, I didn't know that. I thought I was always clean cut. Well, thanks a lot, Brandon. I didn't know I was that scruffy look for a while. A lot of people think pull off the scruffy look well, but thanks a lot, Brandon. I mean, I always tried to keep a clean shaven haircut, but anyway, whoops, I didn't know. I usually keep a beard down here. I don't keep the mustache, but yeah. Right, there you go, there you go, and that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Where I'm at. So I'm modeling myself after you, Brandon. You do pull off the mustache look really well, though. A lot of people like my mustache at work too, though. But my second show that I think should be revisited. I don't know if anybody's ever seen The King of Queens. Kevin James. Oh, he was. I love that. Husband and wife dynamic. It's a modern day honeymooners, and I just really love the dynamic. And I think Kevin James did really well in that show. And they kind of did do a spin-off of that, Kevin Can Wait. I don't know if you guys seen that, but they actually fired his on-screen wife, to replace her with Leah Remini, his other on-screen wife from what from the King of Queens, and that's what people actually saw that they were trying to revise the King of Queens. It just really didn't have the power and the umph of the King of Queens though, but they tried. God bless him, but I would really love to see that show be revised though. That was probably one of the last best golden age sitcoms of the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. I really wish it could be revisited because Kevin James was perfect for that role, and he just gave it so much light to that show. Yeah, King of Queens, great show. If you haven't seen it, definitely worth a watch. I think he's really hilarious. I mean, he's known for his clean humor, and my brother saw him in concert or whatever. But like, I think he does better in shows. And you look at a lot of comedians; they do better in movies. But a lot of comedians that I see the movies they play in, they're not that great. I think that's just based on writers and script and directors. But I think a lot of comedians that I watch do better with their stand up. Honestly, I watch Robin Williams in his movies. He's not as funny, but when I see his stand up, his stand up is a lot funnier. So yeah. Anyway, Young Sheldon, I have not seen. I've heard. No, I used to watch The Big Bang Theory, but a while back. But I heard they were going to do a spin off of that, so I don't know. That's different. That's modern comedy, and actually, that is interesting that you pointed that out, Natasha. Is because like now they don't have laugh tracks, and you know I like the classic nostalgic comedies where they have a laugh track in the back. You know. Oh, I miss John Candy so much. He was so funny. He was such a funny guy. Honestly, I really wish he was still alive. I wish he would have lived longer than he did. I loved his movies. I loved him. He was so funny. Funny guy. Yeah, it depends on the comedian too, and depends on what they do. No, for sure, for sure. But I mean, like the comedians that I watch and I know, like their stand up, I think is funnier. I mean, like like late shows. From my opinion, a lot of late shows, like who was that one guy? David Letterman. His stand up was so much funnier. And when he did the late show, I don't think he was that funny, honestly. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Sure. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, as you can. I'm just rambling on too because I'm talking about a topic that I really like to talk about. So, but thank you, Brandon. I appreciate that. I'm sorry you haven't been on, and I'm really sorry about your grandmother passing again, though. Excuse me. Well, thanks for joining, Brandon. I really appreciate it. It's really nice to see people that I know. So yeah, I'm in the same. I'm in the same boat a lot of times too. I feel out of place when I'm with a bunch of people that I don't know, when I'm on live. But I mean, sometimes I have a really good conversation. So yeah, hey Esther, how you doing? You're joining a really fun live. So yeah, um, she has. Oh, she. Oh, okay. So she. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And yeah, one of the things that I didn't mention, one of the reasons why I became a YouTuber, among the many things that were going on in my life, that's what inspired me to become a that passed away. I went through a breakup and just felt like everything was going to shit. And I talked about this in a live, but yeah, that's what inspired me to become a YouTuber too. So also, oh Mash, I heard of Mash. I don't like Mash. It's just too much drama. Honestly, it's interesting, but like I never got into it. Watched it, I probably would laugh. But yeah, Mash. I know it was a really popular show, but yeah, that's cool. That's cool. No, I Love Lucy was my show. I watched a lot of old shows too. Anyway. I grew up on classic shows. The Honeymooners, I Love Lucy, my wife and 3 sons. Oh, yeah. I like the nostalgic shows. MASH, there you go, there you go. What show do you think should be revised or revisited? Any show. My show was Gotham, and, I think they should do a spin-off, and the other one was The King of Queens with Kevin James. That was a great show. So that's what we're talking about. So, yeah. Brandon, I appreciate you taking care of some people, though, for me. But Esther, tell me you've watched I Love Lucy, right? That is one of my favorite sitcoms of all time. I know it's old school, but I grew up on that show. Leave It to Beaver, that's another one. Absolutely, yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, are you sure? Well, I mean, are you talking about like Roseanne or something? Oh, absolutely. That's my favorite show of all time. There we go. You know what I'm talking about, Esther. I knew we were friends for a reason. I was going to say, if you didn't know that show, we couldn't be friends. Oh my gosh. Right. Uh, I have to do it on a computer. My phone kind of acts up sometimes. Oh, absolutely. My dad loves that show. Yeah, the Andy Griffith show. I don't like that show as much. It's okay. But yeah, my dad loves that show. No, I've watched it many times, but yeah. I think Andy Griffith, I think he did better in Matlock. Matlock, that was a good show. I think, yeah, Andy Griffith. Well, what's his name? He did better in the yeah, Matlock. Just his personality and everything. I don't know. I think that show was better suited for him. But no, I mean Andy Griffith, yeah, that was good too. Really? Oh, okay. I did not know. I didn't know that. Oh, excuse me. A lot of comedians get found too that way, and that's how Kevin James got found. Really? Oh, okay. I don't know because yeah, I've never seen the stand up. I've only known him from the Andy Griffith show and the Matlock. But yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. If um, I always enjoy stand up comedy sometimes better than shows that I feel like people are on. Oh, my mom loves that show too, Little House on the Prairie. That's a drama though. I couldn't get into that show. That's too drama for me. Kind of more Western soap opera kid show, I guess. If you know what I mean. I don't mean that in a bad way, but I wasn't not a show that I was into that much. My mom liked that show, but yeah. Oh yeah, take your time. We've already mentioned that Young Sheldon. They were gonna do a spin-off of that. Well, thank you, Brandon. I didn't know he did stand up, honestly. No, I would have not have known that. Oh, I do like that show. I do like Red Fox, honestly. Yes, yes, for sure. I've never seen a stand up. If he ever did stand up, I would love to listen to it. No, I mean like actually he's a good example. The way he spoke on, the show, actually, sounded more like a stand up comedian. I liked him. I mean I didn't watch the full season. A little old school for me, but he was a pretty funny guy. And the other guy that I loved too was just when he talks, he felt like more like I was listening to stand up. What's this guy's name? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. I'll remember in a second. Oh, I'll tell you, I got no respect. I get no respect. Really? I didn't know that. No, I mean, I don't think his show was that dirty. Was he? Was he really dirty? No, I did not know that. No, thank you. Well, you're older than me, Brandon, so I'll take your word for it. I know a lot of comedians today are, but like, who's the other guy? Oh gosh. Oh, it was the guy that wore that tie. Oh, Rodney Dangerfield. Oh my gosh, he was so funny. He's so old school, but he's funny. Funny as shit. Rodney Dangerfield. Yes, exactly. That's what I was saying. Oh man, he was a funny dude. Because where I was born in the '90s, well, 1989, and so I live with more modern humor, but I do appreciate old school humor too. But yeah, I mean, like I think it's sometimes with the. I have to watch a stand up now. You got me curious, Brandon. Well, thanks for joining. Though I really appreciate that. Andy, I'm gonna watch Andy Griffith, and I'm gonna see Red Fox. I didn't know he was. I did not. I would have not have pegged him as a dirty comedian. Yeah. So I guess it's how they present themselves, and it's just the funny one-liners they do, and the analogies they use. You know. So yeah. Oh, you're back, Esther. We were just talking about Rodney Dangerfield. He was another funny guy. I'm sure you know who that is, right? I tell you, guys, I got no respect. No respect. And fun fact for you, the reason where he got that one line from, like, I get no respect, his favorite line that he always used to say in a lot of his movies or shows was that, like, he went to a casino in Las Vegas and he said that there was a lot of gangsters there, like, because back in the day, mobsters used to run casinos, and he's seeing all these gangsters getting respect and he was getting none of it. That's where he got his famous one line. I get no respect, I mean, he wasn't really dirty, but he did play in a lot of dirty movies, but kind of dirty. He got dirty during the end though of his career. Really? I didn't wait, when you get booked on a show, you're not allowed to be dirty? Well, it's because you watch a lot of shows today, they're actually full of, full of innuendos. Well, that's surprising, I would have known that. Oh, booked on a show. Oh, I see, like, a stand-up show or something? Really? You have to have clean humor? I did not know that. I mean, I don't know what you're referring to, but, Hollywood is full of innuendos, so I'm not sure. Well, I've learned a lot, Brandon. I'm glad you were here. Ah, man, I'll tell you. Back to school? Oh, man. I like that cartoon that he did, Rover Dangerfield. He played himself as a dog. It sounds like a really corny kid show. "Hey, take it easy with me, I'm just a pup, you know?" No, I have not. I saw the one movie that he made, he became a millionaire, I forgot what it was, but yeah. Oh, man, I saw a couple of his movies recently, but I wanna watch all of them. But yeah. Some of them are kinda stupid, but yeah. Corny. There's one movie that I just watched, it was really funny. Joe Pesci was in it, man, it was pretty funny, I loved it. When he did it, I was like, "Oh my gosh." Oh, I can't even say, it was kinda dirty what he said, but yeah. But, like, in the movie, he's like he smokes, he drinks, he's a gambler, and, his mother-in-law visits him, and and she's pissed off at him. She's like, yeah, the way he thinks she thinks he's a bad example. And then she fakes her own death and she says, "You can inherit my inheritance if you stop smoking, stop drinking, and stop gambling for a year." I forget what the movie was called. You're fine. Oh my god. It was funny though. Oh wow, I'm gonna have to listen to his stand-up. Thank you for that. I didn't even know he did stand up, but yeah. Oh. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I see what you're saying. Oh, okay. Well, interesting. Ah, so cool. Well, Brandon, I wish we would have done this in a live. Wow, we had a lot to talk about. So cool. But yeah, I really wish I remember that movie. I have to remember that movie. You said Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. You say it's funny. I'm definitely check it out though, because I think he's pretty funny though. All right, guys. Well, my phone's about to die, so I'm gonna have to cut you guys loose. All right, Brandon. It was really nice talking to you, and yeah, I hope everything goes well. And I'm sorry about your grandmother. Yes, very dirty. I probably like it though for sure. Yeah, and Andy Griffith too. I gotta look at that up. I'm gonna look that right up after we get off though. But yeah, I have to let you guys go. My phone's at like 2 or 3%. So anyway, and I gotta work tomorrow. So all right, Brandon, you have a great night. And Esther, nice to talk to you again. I'm so glad you joined us. We had a really great night. Really great discussion tonight. So all right, Brandon, you have a great night, and Esther, you have a great night too. And thanks everybody for liking and subscribing. Thanks all for the input. I really, really appreciate it. Guys, have a great night, and always, happy cooking, everybody. I gotta go. My phone's about 2%, so I gotta get going. Bye, Brandon. Bye, Esther.